All right. Okay. We will start with the first chapter by today, but before that, let me share the. Right. This is our course information. Okay. I start again. Assalamualaikum and a very good morning to all of you. Welcome again to our class, Analytical Chemistry for Engineering. Okay. So I just read the course synopsis. I have put this in the e-learning. Have you noticed that? The course information. Okay, this course introduce quantitative chemical analysis with emphasis on basic wet chemistry and analytical instrumentation methods. Topics in wet chemistry include introduction to basic analytical chemistry procedures, sampling, sample preparation, including sample preservation, data analysis, method validation, gravimetric and volumetric analysis. The course also introduced the principles, instrumentation, and application of chromatography and spectroscopic methods such as gas chromatography, HPLC. HPLC is high performance liquid chromatography, ultraviolet visible spectroscopy, atomic absorption, and atomic emission spectroscopy. All right. So basically, in this course, we will learn very comprehensively, okay, on the number one is we divide into two, quantitative analysis and qualitative analysis. Okay. All right. In analytical chemistry, we have two types of analysis. Okay? We have qualitative analysis and also quantitative analysis. Can someone give me idea what is qualitative and what is quantitative? Please, what is qualitative and what is quantitative?
I think quantitative is when we try to decide what is the materials or things that was involved in the matrix. And for quantitative, is more to number. I mean, how concentrated. All of them are in numerical form, in number form. Yeah, there is a difference between quantitative and qualitative, based on my opinion.
All right, good. So, right, qualitative is for us to know what is it. Okay, it exists or not. That is qualitative. Okay, like Sung said, that quantitative is how much is the analyte inside the sample. All right, and then in this course, we will learn comprehensively on the instruments. All right, we have several types of instruments. Okay, under the chromatography methods, we also have under the spectroscopic methods, right? And then we also learn the classical methods in analytical chemistry. The classical methods involved in the gravimetry and volumetry. But before all of that, that is the methods in determining the analyte inside the sample, right? That is the methods. We have chromatographic methods, we have spectroscopic method, and also we have the classical methods, right? Which is the gravimetric and volumetric. Gravimetric is based on the weight of the analytes, and volumetric is based on the volume, right? Is in there in the name of the method itself. But before we go further on the analytical techniques, classical spectroscopic techniques, gravimetric techniques, we will learn first on the introduction of the analytical chemistry. We will learn how to get the sample or how to sampling, okay, and how to preserve or prepare the sample and how to analyze the data, okay. And we have also method validation, meaning that this course is very packed for this semester for us to learn, but we'll make sure that we have covered all of the things, okay, for you to understand well. Okay, we also have Monabir here. Monabir was my student as well in the Monabir. When was it? Last 2 years, right? Are you there,
Yes,
Monabir?
doctor.
right, last 2 years. So you take my challenge, okay, to take this course again, right, to to polish up your result. Okay, it's okay, but bear in mind that this course, if you learn properly, you follow properly all the things that I will teach you, right, and you do some exercise, you can do well in this course, right? As I told you, I will use several active learning method for us to have some activities instead of just me doing the lectures. All right. All right. We have three CLO as I told you last week. All right. Not last week, this week, right? But last class. All right. We have course learning outcome. We have three. Okay. The first one is apply the basic principle and procedures of general analytical chemistry techniques, chromatographic and wet chemistry methods and chemical analysis, right? So we will learn the basic principle of the procedures in the analytical chemistry. And then the second one, we have we have to learn, okay, the learning outcome is analyze reliability of data from chemical analysis using statistical methods, meaning that we know that there are several techniques in analytical chemistry. We have several techniques in analysis in the in determining the analytes in the sample and so on. But how reliable is the data? So we learn the data analysis. It's like the statistic that we have learned previously during your mathematics class, or as well as your foundation class previously, right? But we use that knowledge in the data analysis to know how reliable is the data, is the result from the methods that we learn in analytical chemistry. It's like just normal statistic, but we applied it in the data analysis. And then we have the third one is summarize general analytical techniques, spectroscopic, chromatography, and wet chemistry principle to the analysis of real problem, right? In this case, for CLO3, we will we will apply the knowledge of the analytical methods that we learn, okay, the data analysis and so on, the sampling process, the sample preparation and so on, in the real samples, right? Meaning that we will give you examples, and then we will have some activities for you to think about how to use the knowledge of the sampling, sample preparation, right? What is the method that is suitable to use to analyze the sample and so on with the real problem, right? It's like a problem based. Okay, never mind. But as I told you, this will not happen in a one-way lecture, just me doing the lecture, right? Most of you have, now is from the third year, but we also have your juniors from the first year who this is the first one being, this is their first experience in universities, learning in a university way, right? But you guys, for you in the third year, you need to guide them, right? Your adik-adik ini, right? In the first year, when you do the activities, meaning that I will combine in your group. Okay, I will divide you in groups. I will combine first year and third year, right? And different courses. This one different program as well, right? As I told you, detailed innovative and learning and teaching practice, we will have some active learning activities such as the group discussion, problem solving, think, pair, share, experimental, and I have my own methods in the active learning that I will introduce to you in our class after this. All right. So this is the topic that we're gonna learn, and divided into that have been divided into the weeks, assigned into the weeks. All right. Week 1 we will learn the introduction to analytical chemistry. Week 2 and 3 and so on. So quite packed. Okay. We will have our semester break in the 9th week. Okay. And we will continue learning until the end of the week. Oh, very packed. For this course, we will have a very packed schedule, but we will make sure that we can do this very well. Okay. All right. For the It is a learning time. Okay. For the quiz, we have 4 quiz. As we discussed last week, last class, I think we have discussed this, right? We have 4 quiz, right? Fair enough, because we have a lot of topics, all right? So we have 4 quiz and 1 test, right? The quiz, each of the quiz will contribute about 5% of the total marks, right? And the time given will be 30 minutes, right? Normally quiz, okay, no quiz, we will have not so difficult level of the question, right? But covered all the topics that we have learned. And then we will have a test, okay? Test will be about 25% of the total marks. And then we will have 2 types of assignment, which is the first one, it is the individual assignment, right? Meaning that the marks is based on individual works. And we have the second one, the group assignment, more percentage there, okay? 5% for individual and 10% for the group assignment. So the total carry mark will be 60%, and the final exam will be 40%. That is the normal way in the university for the marks, right? Of every course. Final exam will contribute 40%, but continuous assessment, right? Quizzes, the tests, and assignments will contribute for 60%. So do it well, right? As I told you, the 3 books that we refer to, to have our lecture notes, okay? Not meaning that we will use these books while we are in the class. No, it's just you can refer these books, right? And as the as your extra learning time that you want to refer, you need to understand more. You can refer all these books, right? We use all these books for the lecture notes. Okay, I think that's all for the course information. We can move into the lecture notes. Right. As I told you, for the first week, we will learn introduction to the analytical chemistry, right? We know chemistry. Chemistry is the knowledge of, if you said chemistry, what come to your mind first if you said chemistry? I don't want to hear from Sung. Sung always respond to my question. I want to hear from Tassin. Tassin, when we said about chemistry, what come to your mind first?
Doctor, I think it's the study of the elements, components, molecules, then the
Reactions, right?
reactions.
And
Yes.
so on, right? But in analytical chemistry, we learn focusedly on the how to analyze, right? Analyze in the analytical way, in the chemistry way, right? The applied knowledge of chemistry in analyzing analytes, right? So we use the knowledge of chemistry in analyzing the analytes, target analytes in our sample, right? So the knowledge is very comprehensive. So we will compile it in our course, right? So as the introduction. All right, we will learn about the general step in chemical analysis, a general sampling, storage, sample preservation procedures, and then the general procedures on solution preparation. All right, the course outline. Introduction to quantitative chemical analysis with emphasis on the wet chemistry, right? Introduction to analytical chemistry, sampling, sample preparation, right? For sample preparation, normally we call it as sample prep. Okay, the nickname of sample preparation, sample prep, right? And then we will learn the instrumental methods, the principles, instrumentation, and application of chromatography and spectroscopic methods such as gas chromatography. Okay, the short form is GC. High performance liquid chromatography, the short form is HPLC, ultraviolet visible UV-Vis spectroscopy. So the short form is UV-Vis. The atomic absorption is AAS and atomic emission spectroscopy is AES. What is this? GC, HPLC, UV-Vis, AAS, and AES. What is this? Can I have our first year students to answer this? Well, call. One more, Faiz. Sorry. Faiz, what is this? What is GC? What is
Yes, Doctor.
HPLC? Yeah? Okay, what is GC? What is HPLC? What is UV-Vis? What is AAS? What is AES? What is all of these things? I'm sure that this is the first time hear this. What is this? GC, HPLC, UV-Vis, AES? What is this? So for your idea, for your own idea, what is this? Faiz, what is this? It is all instruments, guys. It's all instruments. We human create these instruments, right? Gas chromatography is an instrument. High performance liquid chromatography, HPLC, is also an instrument. Ultraviolet visible spectroscopy also is instruments, all right? It's a machine, right? Atomic absorption spectroscopy, AS, right? We miss one more thing here is the word spectroscopy. Okay, it's also an instrument. Atomic emission spectroscopy, also an instrument. We human create this instrument to analyze this sample, right? To know how much is the analyte. Okay, before that, right? Before I go further, what is analyte? How many times I say analyte? What is analyte? And for this question, I would like to know from our abang-abang, kakak-kakak from the third year.
Substance you analyze.
Who's that talking? Sung? Who's that? Sung?
Sam.
No, Sam.
Sam. What's that, Sam? What's your idea?
Substance that you analyze using the instrumental method.
What is that? Analyte.
Yeah, analyze.
Substance that you analyze using the instrument. All right. You have the idea, but more precisely, can somebody give me?
Analyte is the substance that we are interested to investigate or analyze in the matrix.
That's the cool answer, right? So analyte is the thing that we are focused to know about. Okay, we are using this kind of instrument only to know what is the analyte. If I said what is the analyte, it is qualitative, right? Am I true? What is the analyte? Is it there or not? That is qualitative. And how much is the analyte? Okay, so these all instruments invented by human being only to know what is the analyte, is it exist or not, and how much is it. For example, what is your breakfast? What did you drink today for your breakfast? Tea or coffee, right? For example, in the tea itself is a sample. Okay, and the analyte that I will ask you to analyze, okay, is the sugar exist in the tea? Is the sugar exist in the tea? Sugar is our analyte right now. So Sung, check it out. What is how is it sugar exist in the tea? So so Sung, what kind of instrument that you will use to know if the sugar exists in the tea? To know.
Sugar. The high performance liquid. But no.
Okay. No need lah, Sung. Just taste it. Is it sweet or not?
Yeah. Just taste. Yeah, it's better.
So our analyte is okay. Yes, we can use instruments. For this case, sugar is the it's a molecule, that organic molecule. Okay, glucose. We can use this HPLC. All right, high performance liquid chromatography. That's true. So, but I'm just kidding. So if you want to know the analyte, in this case, it is qualitative, right? Exist or not? So just test it. Okay, sweets. So we have sugar. But is it confirmed sugar inside the tea? Maybe it's the stevia, or maybe it is the aspartame. Okay, the fake sweetened, right? The artificial sweetened and so on. But the analyte is sugar right now. And then how much is the sugar? So that you cannot tell with your taste. Okay, you should analyze it, right? So that is the sample of the example of sample and analyte. So sample is the tea itself, and then analyte is the sugar. We want to investigate how much is the sugar exist or not, and then how much is the sugar, right? And then after that we have also another analyte, the tea. Okay, let's say we want to investigate the tea. Okay, what is the molecules inside the tea and so on, right? Okay, we have sample, we have analyte, and we have matrix. Okay, what is matrix? Can anybody tell me what is matrix? Cherries, you have an idea what is matrix inside the sample?
Sorry, doctor, I'm not sure about it.
It's okay. Faris, you have any idea what is a matrix inside the sample?
Not really sure that the metric.
Not really sure. Ikram?
I think metrics are measures of quantitative assessment.
What?
I think metrics are measures of quantitative assessment.
Not so accurate. Okay, but nice try. Thank you, Ikram. Okay, Monabir, you have learned with me previously. Okay, what is matrix in the sample?
I think it's component in a sample.
Component?
Uh,
Yes,
component
component.
in a sample. Yeah.
Yes, component. But what kind of component is that?
Depends on the sample, I guess.
Okay, thank you. But we need a more precise answer. Stephen Wong. Stephen, are you here? So what is your idea about the matrix? What is a matrix? Stephen. Stephen. Wake up, Stephen. Tivia?
Hi, doctor.
Hi, okay. You have idea what is matrix inside the sample?
I think it's the measurement of the substance, maybe.
Not so accurate. Okay. Tin Yi.
Yes, doctor.
Okay, you have any idea what is matrix inside the sample?
Maybe it's the medium of the analyte.
Okay, quite
Mm.
right? You have the idea, okay? But okay, accurately, what is matrix is something else instead of the analyte. For example, we have a river water. We need to analyze, for example, the what is a pollutant inside the river water. For example, we have the mercury inside the river water. We have mercury pollution in the river water, right? So your analyte is the what? Your target analyte is the mercury itself, right? But we have matrix inside the sample. What is the matrix? Not the Matrix, the movie. You watch the Matrix movie? I'm not really sure. Your generation watched the Matrix movie, right? What is the matrix? Matrix mean that not your matriculation line. Matrix is your inside the sample we have something else instead of the analyte. Okay, for example, in the river water, what is the matrix? Our target analyte is the mercury. So what is the matrix? The water itself is the matrix. Okay, and then we have something else in the water sample, right? We have, for example, the bacteria, for example, also the matrix, right? Something else inside the sample that is not the analyte that we're going to analyze. Okay. All right. So general steps in chemical analysis. What is analytical chemistry and how it plays a role? Okay, whereby it deals with the separation, identification, and determination of analytes in the sample. Okay, and it involves the application of a range of techniques and methodologies to obtain and assess qualitative, quantitative, and structural information of the matter. Okay, like that we discussed previously. Okay, so it is to obtain, process, and communicate information about the composition and structure of a matter is analyzed in the sample. And in other words, it's the art and science of determining what matter is and how much it exists. Okay, what matter is qualitative and how much is quantitative. And we to know what matter, okay, what is an analyte, is it exists or no, how much is it? We will undergo several process. Okay, we have to sample. We have to take the sample. We call it the sampling process. We have to process the sample, which is what we call as sample preparation. All of that is the art in the analytical chemistry or the science of it. Okay, so the process from the sample until we have the result of the analysis and we process the result for the data analysis. Okay, that is all the analytical chemistry about. Okay, this is what I said to you just now: analyte, matrix, and sample. So analyte is the matter or substance to be identified, detected, or separated using selected methods. Okay, and matrix is the medium in which the analyte is analyzed. For example, in river water, the water itself is the matrix, and all other constituents in the sample except the analyte. Okay, that I told you. And the sample is the representative of the population or gross sample. Okay, if you want to take, if some pollution happened at the lake near to your house, so the population is the whole water of the lake itself, but the sample is the representative of the whole lake. So you need to take a sample from the lake. Okay, a type of sample and matrix can be anything. It depends on things. Okay, all right, we have 10 more minutes, right? Okay, it depends on things, which is the analytes we are going to analyze. Okay, the sample, for example, oil sample from the Gulf of Mexico oil spill disaster. What is oil spill? Do you understand what is oil spill? Someone can explain to me, to all of the class member, what is the oil spill?
When crude oil gets spilled from oil tankers and
Yes.
oil rigs.
Yes, good, Tassin. Okay, when some tank, okay, oil tanker, a big oil tanker, and or we have the offshore platform to dig the oil, to take the oil from the sediment, okay, in the crust of the at the crust of the sea water, okay, and then something happened, okay, accidentally, or for example the tank was broken, and then all the oil has been spilled into the seawater. So this is the disaster. We call it oil spill disaster. And one of the example of this disaster happened at the Gulf of Mexico several years ago before this. Okay, and we will result in massive pollution from the oil, crude oil into the seawater at the beach and so on. And if the oil getting, if the oil is burned, all right, during the incident, all right, and the air pollution will happen as well. So the analytes, of course, when we say about oil, the analyte will be we have a lot of petroleum engineers to be here, so the analyte will be the hydrocarbons, okay, sulfur, trace metal. This is component inside the oil, crude oil, right? Right, you need to be the responsible engineer in the future, right? In order to make money by processing the oil and so on, but you have to be responsible engineers, right, who will take care of the environment, right, and then all the components inside the environment itself, animals, the human itself, okay, all the components of the environment, our seawater and so on. So we need to take care of all of that. That's why you need to learn this analytical chemistry, right? In order, because if you be an engineer one day, okay, you need to apply this knowledge, right, on how to take the sample from the seawater to analyze is it the polluted or not and so on, right? A lot of my friends, as a petroleum engineer and so on, okay, we call them back and to give a talk to the students back, right? They will say about this, that we will apply this knowledge, okay, and to do anything about the environment, about the as the engineer job itself, all right? Because sampling and sample preparation and analyzing the sample is the main thing that we'll do, all right, when you become an engineer and so on after this, right? So what happened to the slide? Okay, this is the example of the oil spill disaster. Okay, we have the water pollution. You see that? Okay, the oil spill result in the water pollution. Then soil and sand pollution. The oil will somehow will get dumped into the beach, right? And then smoke, when the oil was burned, right? The smoke will come up and will result in the air pollution as well, and or even feathers, all right, birds, okay, animals will suffer from this disaster. You can see that type of sample can be anything, depend on the things that we're going to analyze. It can be the fish that has died in the river or sea. Okay? We don't know why the fish died, okay, and then we take the sample of the fish to analyze. Okay, maybe some toxic appeared in the fish sample and so on. We don't know. It can be the soil sample, right, to analyze the nutrients, fertilizers and so on. And it can be the fruits. We would like to analyze the fruit sample to know, is it a pesticide contained in the fruit, is it any heavy metal and so on, toxic analyte, okay, in the fruits. So the sample could be anything, right? This is a Gulf of Mexico oil spill in 2010. Okay, so area of analytical chemistry, we have environmental analysis, the pollutants, the airborne matters, oil, pesticide, wastewater, soil and water analysis. We have the clinical analysis, okay, also use the analytical chemistry, blood sample, urine sample, feces, cellular fluids, okay, and for use in diagnosis, the we call as the diagnosis the ill, okay, and the anything else we in the clinical aspect of analysis, okay. And then we have a pharmaceutical analysis, establish the physical properties, toxicity, metabolites, quality control, the drug, all dealing with the drugs methods, okay. In the pharmaceutical industry, we also use the analytical chemistry method. We have the forensic analysis, analysis related to the criminology. Most of my friends also there at the police department as the forensics police department, okay. They use this knowledge as well to analyze a sample related to the criminology, right? DNA, fingerprinting, and blood analysis and so on, right? Industrial quality control, of course, we use the analytical chemistry, right? Required by most companies to control product quality. All the instrument that I said previously, all industry, most of the industry have that instrument, as well as university. Of course, we have that. And then we have bioanalytical chemistry analysis, detection and analysis of biological components, proteins, DNA, RNA, and so on, and a lot more in the area of analytical chemistry involved, right? This is only the example. So as the analytical chemist or analyst, a true analyst has several characteristics. It has knowledge of the methods and instrument used for analysis, understand the principle of analysis so that he or she can apply and, if necessary, modify analytical method to solve a particular problem, and can develop a new methods. All right. If the analyte is the a new one that has not previously discovered by others, so the analytical chemist or analyst need to develop the new methods to analyze the analytes. What kind of instrument that we need to use, how to sample the sample, I mean that how to prepare the sample, and how to analyze the data, and so on, right? They can evaluate and interpret the result of a quantitative analysis. So an analytical chemist is a key skill and well-trained chemist, and also known as a problem solver. Okay, and we, for example, we have a crime case. Okay, we have a environmental criminal case, pollution. Okay, illegal dumping of chemical, and so on. So all the thing is the sample being brought to the lab. Okay, and being analyzed to know what type of the for example, what type of the pollutants inside the sample. Okay, if the in the forensic department, okay, they analyze the DNA of the blood, and so on, right? So the analytical chemistry is widely applied in various sectors and in the various industries. All right, and the application is very wide. All right, until this slide, what do you expect from this subject, this course, right? Don't need to write on the piece of paper and so on. Okay, just anybody can just tell me what do you expect from this course. Okay, I want to hear from the our adik-adik from the first year. Who's from the first year? Dah accurate. So what do you expect from this course? So previously in UTM we call it course, okay? But we call it subject, but now we call as course, okay? Previously we call as subject, okay? Sorry. Okay, what do you expect from this course? Dah, are you here dah? Shahnurul, Doctor, may I ask the date for each quizzes? For quiz, all right, we have the a specific week for the quiz. You can see that in the course information, in which week we will have quiz. But in exact time, which class that we have quiz, normally, this I will tell you, normally, we have 2 hours and 1 hour class, right? Normally, the quiz will be conducted in the 1 hour class, meaning that we have 30 minutes for the quiz, right? And then after that, we will have another 30 minutes for anything else, assignments, discussion, or continue with the chapters. Okay, dah, are you here dah? Dah accurate. Dah, are you can you hear me dah? In response? Okay. Who I want to call from first year? Afif, can you hear me, Afif?
Yes, doctor, I can hear you.
Afif, you are from?
From Indonesia.
Yes, Afif from Indonesia, right? From Batam, right?
No, from Jakarta.
This is your first time in this class?
Yes, first time, but
Oh,
I'm third year, doctor.
you are third year.
Yes.
All right. That's okay. Okay. Afif, so what is your idea? Afif from Jakarta. Okay. Are you at Jakarta right now?
No, I'm at Johor Bahru right now.
Okay, you at UTM. Right. What is your idea? What do you expect from this course till this slide?
I expect to pass this course in good mark, doctor.
Okay. Good. I mean, you will
Amin.
have that. Okay.
Thank you,
But
doctor.
your expectation in this till this slide, your expectation of this course, I mean that how important is this course in your future career, for example? You are from pure chemical engineering or petroleum?
I'm from chemical engineering.
All right. So how important this course in your future career as the chemical engineer, for example?
It's very important to analyze the stuff in chemical plant, so I'm not mistaken to write the report in my
Yeah.
future jobs.
Okay. Anything that you do as a petroleum engineer or chemical engineer and so on, this knowledge is very important, right? For example, if you say that we need to analyze something, that is analytical chemistry, right? Okay. Okay, this is a few movies that involve analytical chemistry, CSI, Sherlock Holmes, all right, forensic files, and so on. Okay, we are now at 5 more minutes. So this is an analogy of qualitative and quantitative analysis. Okay. For example, look at the quantitative analysis. I can give a 9.5 over 10 for her looks and 9 over 10 for her choice and of dress and 10 over 10 for her dressing sense. This is quantitative analysis. Okay, it's about how much, determine how much of an light present in a sample. And qualitative analysis, she looks beautiful, her dress is awesome, and she dressed very well. Okay, that is qualitative, right? Identify what analyte present in the sample. So this is acceptable worldwide, more valid and accurate for reporting. Which one? The quantitative analysis. All right. This is the steps in the quantitative analysis. We have to understand and define the problem. We have to do some literature search, select the analytical method, sampling and sample preparation to eliminate the interference, and we have to analyze the result, perform measurement, compare the result with the standard method, and we have to apply required statistical techniques and verify the results. And we need to do the report. This is generally what we need to do in the quantitative analysis. And we need to understand and define the problem. We learn as much as possible about the overall problem that is being faced. What is the problem? What needs to be investigated? Okay, qualitative or quantitative analysis needed. Okay, and then we need to know when will the result be needed. Okay, this is the step in the analytical chemistry. Right? How many samples need to be analyzed? Okay, who will use the information? For example, if you have a criminal case, okay. So we have a murder case, for example. So that's problem. To investigate who is the murderer, how the victims being killed. Okay, when the result be needed. Of course, in the criminology case, the result will be needed as soon as possible, right? And how many samples are to be analyzed? What kind of sample? Blood sample, fingerprint sample, DNA sample, right? And anything more related to the criminology. And who will use the information? Of course, the police will use the information to give the facts, okay, and figure in the court, okay, to provide evidence of possible future litigation to help improve company profit or satisfy customer. For example, industry, right? If the if for example, as a chemical engineer, you work in the paint industry, you produce paint, right? You know paint, okay, chat, okay, paint, okay, and then you need to do quality control, right? you need to make sure that the quality of the paint is being always being controlled. So you need to do QC, right? And then you need to start satisfy the customer. If, for example, you are one of the vendors, okay, of the paint industry, you prepare one type of ingredient or a part of the solution that needed in the paint. So you need to satisfy your client. Your client will be the big company, all right, that produce the paint. You are the subcon of the industry, produce one type of ingredient or solution to make the paint, right? You need to do quality control to satisfy your customer with your result. This is the result of the analysis. All the component is there, okay? The concentration is accurately according to the specs and so on, okay? So that is the importance of the analytical chemistry, very important. And then we know how accurate and precise does it have to be, how sensitive the method must be, and what is the budget. This is the thing that we need to consider in analytical chemistry, right? And if the result that you need only qualitative, so you don't need to do don't need to spend more on the analysis using a quantitative instrument, because the client only need a qualitative analysis. Is it there or no? Okay, what is the analyte? So don't need to spend a lot in the using a high-end instrument. Just use the qualitative instrument. So what is the budget? It's really important. How the sample is obtained? Okay, sampling process. Does it require any preliminary treatment? Okay, and so on. So the thing that we need to define. Okay. We also refer in the analytical chemistry. Okay, we don't just do anything as we want to do. We refer to the standard methods. If you want to take the sample, we refer to the standard methods from the beginning. Sample, we take the sample processing or sample preparation, how to analyze, what kind of instruments, okay, what is the range of the concentration, and so on. All of that are being stated in the standard method. We should do the literature search. For example, if we need to analyze something, okay, and then is there the previously being analyzed before this, we have to do the literature search, okay, and then if there is some standard methods, okay, similar with the thing that we need to do to analyze this analyte inside this sample, right? So if there is some standard methods that already there, so we need to refer the standard methods, okay, to make sure that our method of analysis is reliable. Okay, we compare the standard methods. So research analytical procedure and procedures newly developed from series of trials can be used for reference in research activity. And the standard method, accepted, validated procedure used by various recognized agencies with the proper calibration records. For example, the ISO 17025 accredited methods from ASTM, US EPA, Codex, and so on. So what is ASTM, US EPA, or Codex? All right. This is the thing that I need you to figure out. This is not in a group assignment yet. This is a thing individually. I need for you to search. Okay, what is ASTM, US EPA, Codex, and one more thing is APHA. Okay, please take note the thing that I said to you: ASTM, US EPA, Codex, and APHA. Find out what is all these things. Okay, let me write it here clearly. Okay, you need to search ASTM, US EPA, APHA, and AOAC. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these 5 things, I need you to search it individually. Okay, and I will ask randomly next week. Okay, not I will ask randomly, but I will make sure that most of you will be being asked of this. Okay, what is ASTM, USCPA, Codex, APHA, and AOAC. Okay. Right, clear?
Yeah, clear, Doctor.
All right. Okay, thank you, so.
And all right, Doctor. Actually, we
Yes.
have class on.
Okay. I need to stop right now. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So that's all for today. Thank you so much. Actually, I forgot to start our class with our own prayers. Okay. And after this, we'll start the class with our own prayers. For the Muslim, we'll start with Al-Fatiha. Okay. But it's okay for today. I forgot that. And then, without, okay, with that, I need to end this class. And for the Muslim, we should read the Tasbih Kafarah from Surah Al-Asr. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa la asri innal insana lafi khusr illa alladhina amanu wa amilus solihat wa tawasaw bil haqq wa tawasaw bis sabr. That's all from me today. And then please search all of this, and we need to ask in the next class. Thank you so much, guys. Sorry for the
Doctor.
Second.
Doctor.
Okay.
You upload this recording to the e-learning, right? So we can refer back to this recording. Is it?
Yes. Normally I will do that, but I didn't told you because I don't want some of you take taking for granted. Did not come to the class and just wait for the recording. I don't want that. Okay, please come to the class, because every time of the class I will record the attendance. Right. For right now we have 36 of you. Right. Please come to the class, and of course I will record and put it again, but just for reference. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Doctor.
Okay.
Doctor, can we have the slide?
Yes, the notes as well. I will give the notes.
Okay, thank you,
Okay.
Doctor.
Every time I finish the lecture, I will give the notes as well as the recording. Okay, but please don't take things for granted. You just didn't come to the class and wait for that. No. Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
Right. Thank you, Doctor. Have a nice day and take care.
Thank you.
All right. Take care. Okay. Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.